Hey, Anthony here with another lesson from the Alfred's Essentials of Music Theory series. In this video, I'll cover Unit 6, Lesson 25. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a new video. There is an index with links in the description so you can easily find the lessons you need. I highly recommend that you own a copy of this book and are only watching this video to check your work, review, or because you got really stuck on something. Okay, let's get right into it. Today we are talking about whole steps, half steps, and enharmonic notes. I find this particular lesson to be extremely important and a common source of confusion moving forward for people who don't understand this concept. So really pay close attention and make sure that you understand what's happening here. And that kind of goes for everything with music theory. Like if you don't understand what's happening in a lesson, get help from your teacher, rewatch the video, ask a friend, do some more examples, do some more work. It really snowballs and you can get left in the dust and have no idea what's going on. Like if you're to skip like 3 or 4 of these lessons, good luck. All right, here we go. The distance from any key on the keyboard to the very next key above or below, whether black or white, is a half step. Okay, so what that's saying is, right, the very next key that it touches, right? So like C to D, it looks like that's kind of the closest key in a way, but no, it's not, right? This C up to this C sharp is, I guess it could be a D flat, but I don't want to get too far ahead. So this is the next note. That's a half step. And then from here to here is a half step. From here to here is a half step. So I'm just going to kind of trace the route, right? Right? And then it goes to the F there. Boom, 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 right? Those are all half steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That's like the order in which they go. So if you don't, like, the only spot it really gets confusing is from the E to the F and from the B to the C. And then sometimes actually from the B flat to the C, because that's actually a whole step, which we're going to talk about next. The distance from any key to 2 keys above or below is a whole step, right? So we'll work our way backwards this way. So I worked up our way forward with the half steps, but you can also go backwards with the half steps. So, right? So here, they're kind of showing you a couple of whole steps, right? From C to D, right? That's a whole step. From E to this black key right here, that's a whole step, right? Because you skip the F. You got to skip one key. So G, you skip this key, go to the A, that's a whole step, right? And here B, you got to skip the C and go to this black key, that's a whole step, right? So basically a whole step consists of 2 half steps, right? So C, go up 1, go up 2 to D, that's a whole step. If you're here, right, on this black key, go up 1, go up a second 1, that's your whole step from here to here, right? If you're on E, these are the tricky ones, right? If you go, you got to go up 1 to the F and go up a second 1, and from E to there, that's your whole step, right? So it can be a little bit tricky. We'll get into the exercises in a minute here. The key, a half step up from C, is C sharp. Boom, right there. This key is also a half step down from D. And is also known as a D flat. What? So the black keys often can have 2 different names, right? Many notes sound the same but are written differently. These notes are called enharmonic notes, right? So, well, there's a ton of enharmonic notes, right? Like we already talked about the one example, C sharp and D flat. Right? F sharp and G flat. Like if you're coming up from the F, it's an F sharp. If you're coming down from the G, it's a G flat. And the kind of the weirdest ones are E and F, right? Like an E can have a completely different name, which is an F flat, or an F can be an E sharp, right? like it's easy to get used to the black keys having two names because they don't typically have a standard name like C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. The black keys are always going to be either sharp or flat, but it could be a little confusing with the E and the F and the B and the C because because they're very often just a B or just a C. They don't, like they're only flat or sharp occasionally. Now there's some situations even where an A could be enharmonic with like a B double flat or like a G double sharp, but we're not going to worry about that now. Just know that music there's a lot to learn. All right. So here's the exercises. Make sure that everything's in frame here. Good. All right. The enharmonic note for F flat is boom. And it really helps to have the keyboard. And actually, I think I'm going to leave the keyboard up just so you guys can see it a little bit. Make sure I've got this in frame. Okay, perfect. Okay, so the enharmonic note for F flat is boom. Go up to your F and go down a half step, right? So that's another way of thinking about sharps and flats, right? A sharp raises a note by a half step, or a flat lowers a note by a half step. Like, I don't think it talked about that in lesson 24 and 25. 22, 23, I can't remember. But the previous lessons, when it introduces sharps and flats, it doesn't refer to whole steps and half steps, okay? Because they're not introduced until this lesson. So the enharmonic note for F flat is F flat, boom. It's going to be your E. The enharmonic note for E sharp, right? Take E and go up a half step, is F. So it just means what is it also called? The enharmonic note for C flat, go from C down to B, is B. Right? The enharmonic note for B sharp is, first we got to go to B and then make it sharp. Right? Making it sharp just means going up a half step. So that's going to be C is the enharmonic note. Okay. Write the two indicated enharmonic notes on the staff and name the notes in the spaces below. Okay, just making sure I'm still in frame. Good. So one half step above G. Write the two indicated enharmonic notes on this. Oh, there's a big sound coming by me. Okay, so here we go. One half step above G, right? So this can be a little bit tricky. What's one half step above G? So start here, G, and then go up a half step, right? So G, that's going to be a G sharp, right? And then one half step above G, boom, that can also be an A flat. So G sharp or A flat. Kind of tricky, but it's talking about the same note. So one half step above F, so start with your F, go a half step up, or you could use this one up here if that makes it easier. So start at F, go a half step up, and that's going to be F sharp or G flat. Right. So boom, F sharp or G flat. Put your sharp, put your flat. There you go. Next one, C, one half step below B. So that's going to, so start at your B, half step below B, right there. So that's either going to be your B flat, or it's going to be your A sharp. B flat, A sharp. D, one half step above D. So start at D, go a half step up. We're talking about this note right here. So again, if you're coming from D, that's going to be your D sharp. Or you can get to this note from the E, go down. So that's going to be your E flat. Forgot to put the sharp there. Okay. So now we're going to lose our keyboard, but you'll still be able to see the keyboard on your paper. So I would reference the keyboard often. All right. So write the indicated notes on the staff and name the note in the spaces below. If there are enharmonic notes, write both. Okay, so now we're dealing with whole steps. Okay, one whole step above G sharp, right? So I'm going to fold the paper kind of weird because it's like, it's just so helpful to have the keyboard as you guys are going through this. And I want you to be able to see it. How am I going to do this? Sure, that works. Boom. Never had to do paper folding mid-video before. Make sure I'm in frame. All right, there we go. Okay, so write the indicated notes on the staff and name the notes in the spaces below. So one whole step above G sharp. So start on your G sharp right there and go a whole step above, which, boom, is here, right? Because a whole step is 2 half steps. 1, 2. So here we're talking about A sharp and B flat. Now we're in bass clef, don't forget. Grandma buys dresses for all. You could put it there, right? Your A sharp. Or you could put it down here on the first space. B flat, boom, there's your flat. Next one, letter B. One whole step below F. So let's start at F right here and go a whole step below, which is a whole step is 2 half steps. So 1, 2. We're talking about this note in particular. So that's going to be a D sharp or an E flat. Oops. D sharp or E flat. So here is your D. Remember, stem goes down for D. If it's on the middle line, stem goes down. D sharp or E flat. So there's your E, and make sure you make it flat. All right, letter C, one whole step below A. So start at A and go down a half step plus another half step, right? And that is just going to be G. And see, they only have one blank here. So there's your G. Bring it up. G, no sharps or flats. There are situations where that could be called something else, but we're not going to talk about that today. D, one whole step above E. So let's go E, up 1 half step, up a 2nd half step. We're talking about this note, which can either be an F sharp if you're coming at it from F, or if you're flatting it from G, it could be a G flat. So we're talking about F sharp, or we're talking about G flat. There's your F, make it sharp. There's your G, make it flat. All right, and then finally, number 4, name the notes and indicate whether the distance between each pair of notes is a whole step or a half step. Okay, so let's just start by naming all the notes. Just get that out of the way first. Grandma buys dresses for all. All cows, that's a C sharp. That's a C, B, E, F, G, A. Okay, now you have to indicate whether it's a whole step or a half step. So they already give you the first one. F sharp to E is a whole step. Right, so if you take F sharp right there and go to E, boom, half step, 2 half steps. That's a whole step, right? So B to C sharp is the next one, right? So you've got B, go up a half step, and then a 2nd half step to C sharp. So that's a whole step. C to B, let's look there. Uh-oh, our keyboard doesn't give a great example. Oh, C down to B, okay. I was thinking it was C up to B. I was like, wow, that's a huge jump. All right, C down to B, right? It looks like that could just be a whole step, right? Because you think a white key to a white key is a whole step. But look, there's no black key in between. So C down to B, that's just going to be a half step. E up to F, same situation. E, boom, 1/2 step. And then G up to A, you could easily go like, oh, boom, half step. But it's not, right? Because it's black keys in the middle. So 1/2 step here, 1/2 step there equals a whole step. And there you go, folks. That is Alfred's Essentials of Music Theory, Unit 6, Lesson 25. Thanks for watching. Please like this video and subscribe. Click the links to watch the next lesson or jump ahead to the Unit 6 review. Thank you so much.